Okay, so picture the scene. Two armies, a valley between them. And every single morning, for 40 days straight, the biggest man anyone's ever seen walks out and screams the same challenge. And nobody moves.
Nobody. Not the soldiers, not the officers, not the king, and the king is a foot taller than everyone else in his own army.
And the person who finally answers him is a teenager who wasn't even supposed to be there.
Wasn't supposed to be there. Came to drop off lunch.
Lunch.
So let's set the table. This is the nation of Israel versus the Philistines, and the two armies are camped on opposite hills with a valley in the middle. Nobody wants to charge downhill and then uphill into the enemy. It's suicide. So it's a standoff.
Stalemate.
Total stalemate. And the Philistines have a solution. They send out a champion. One guy. The idea is, instead of thousands dying, both sides pick a fighter, they duel, and whoever wins, that side wins the war.
Winner takes all. So who do they send?
Goliath. And the text is very specific about him. He's about 9 feet tall.
Hold on, 9 feet? That's not a big guy, that's a different category of human.
Different category. His armor alone weighs more than most soldiers. The head of his spear is heavier than a grown man's whole weapon. And he's a professional. He's done this his entire life.
So, this isn't a fair fight, even in theory.
It's not meant to be. That's the point of a champion. And here's what he shouts every morning. Give me a man, and let us fight. If he kills me, we'll be your servants. If I kill him, you'll be ours.
And the Israelites just take it.
For 40 days. The Bible says when they heard him, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Every morning he shows up. Every morning they shrink back.
Okay, so where's David in all this?
Miles away. Youngest of 8 brothers. The 3 oldest are in the army. David's the kid, so he's home tending the sheep. And his dad says, take some bread and cheese to your brothers. Check on them. Come back.
So he's the delivery guy.
He's the delivery guy. He shows up at the camp with groceries, and right as he arrives, there's Goliath, doing his morning routine.
And what does David do?
He's confused. Truly confused. He's watching grown soldiers run away, and he starts asking around. Wait, who is this guy? And nobody's doing anything?
That's such a kid reaction. He doesn't know enough to be scared.
That's exactly it. He hasn't learned the fear yet. And this is where it gets human. His oldest brother overhears him and gets furious.
His own brother?
His own brother. Basically says, what are you even doing here? Who's watching those few little sheep? I know you. You just came to watch the fighting.
Oof. That's not the army's scared. That's a big brother putting the little brother in his place.
It's personal. And I think we skip over that too fast. Before David faces the giant, he gets belittled by his own family. Told he's nothing. He's a shepherd. Go home.
So he's got no support, even from his own side.
None. But word gets around that this kid is talking about fighting, and it reaches the king, King Saul.
And what does the king make of him?
Saul says what everyone's thinking. You can't fight him. You're just a boy. This man has been a warrior since his youth.
Which is fair.
Completely fair. And David's answer is fascinating. He doesn't say, I'm strong, or I'm brave. He tells a story. He says, I keep my father's sheep, and when a lion or a bear came and took a lamb, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the lamb. I've killed both the lion and the bear.
So he's got a track record, just not one anybody respects.
Right. It's not a battlefield resume. It's a shepherd's resume. But then he says the line that's the center of the whole story. The Lord who saved me from the paw of the lion and the bear will save me from this Philistine.
So in his head, it's not him versus Goliath at all.
That's the whole thing. Everyone else is doing the math, kid versus giant, and the giant wins. David's doing completely different math.
Okay, so Saul lets him go. Does he send him out empty-handed?
No, and this part I love. Saul tries to help. Puts his own royal armor on David. Bronze helmet, coat of mail, a sword.
The king's personal armor. That's an honor.
Huge honor, and David takes a few steps and goes, I can't do this. I've never worn any of this. Take it off.
Wait, so he turns down the armor? The one thing that might keep him alive?
He takes it all off, walks down to the valley in his regular clothes, stops at a stream, picks up 5 smooth stones, and takes his sling.
Okay, I have to stop you. The sling. In my head, that's a slingshot, a toy.
That's the biggest misunderstanding in the whole story. A shepherd's sling is not a toy. It's a strip of leather you whirl over your head and release, and it can throw a stone the size of your fist at over 100 miles an hour.
100.
It was a genuine military weapon. Slingers were a real part of ancient armies. In the right hands, it's accurate and it's deadly. David has been using one every single day for years, protecting sheep from predators.
So the thing that looks like he's bringing a toy to a sword fight
Is actually the one weapon in that whole valley he's a master of. He's not walking in unarmed. He's walking in with the only weapon that plays to his strengths instead of Goliath's. So Goliath sees him coming, and he's insulted.
Insulted?
Deeply. He looks at David, young, no armor, no sword, and says, "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" And he curses him, says, "Come here and I'll feed your body to the birds."
So, even the giant thinks this is a joke.
Everyone thinks it's a joke. And here's David's answer, and it's not what you'd expect from a kid. He says, "You come to me with a sword and a spear. I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied."
He's not trash-talking his own skills.
Not once. He never says, "I'm going to beat you." He says, "This isn't even about me." And then he does something nobody expects. He runs.
Toward him.
Toward him. Everybody else backed away from this guy for 40 days. David runs at him, reaches into his bag, takes a stone, slings it.
And?
1 stone. It hits Goliath in the forehead, the one spot the armor doesn't cover. And the giant falls face down. The champion that an entire army was terrified of, down, before he could land a single blow.
With no sword.
With no sword of his own. That comes next, he takes Goliath's own sword to finish it. He didn't even bring the weapon that ends the fight. The giant supplied it.
That's almost poetic. The giant's own strength becomes the thing that takes him down.
And the Philistine army sees their champion fall, and they break and run. The entire war turns on one stone thrown by the one person nobody counted.
Okay, here's where I want to push on it. Because the way this story usually gets told is, believe in yourself, be brave, face your giants. And I've heard that my whole life.
And I think that reading gets it almost exactly backwards.
Say more.
Look at what the story keeps doing. It keeps taking things away from David. His size, he's the smallest. His family support, his brother tears him down. His experience, he's never been in a battle. The king's armor, he takes it off. Even a sword, he doesn't carry one.
So one by one, every advantage gets stripped.
Every single one. And that's not sloppy storytelling, that's the point. By the time David's standing in that valley, there is no human explanation left for how he could win. So when he does win,
there's only one thing left to credit.
That's the whole design. David says it himself, the battle is the Lord's. The story isn't believe in yourself. If anything, it's the opposite. It's, the outcome was never resting on how impressive you are.
Which lands harder? Because just be brave and believe in yourself. Sometimes I'm not brave, and believing in myself hasn't moved a mountain lately.
Right. But this version says the win never depended on you being the strongest person in the valley in the first place. And I think that's why this story has lasted 3,000 years. Not because a kid was brave. Because the least likely person in the story carried something bigger than the giant did. So next time you hear David and Goliath, and someone means small guy beats big guy, you'll know it's a deeper story than that.
Here's my question for anyone watching. What's the giant in your life right now that everyone keeps telling you to be afraid of? Drop it in the comments. We read them.
And if you want more stories told this way, this is what we do here. We'll see you in the next one.